This thing.
You're onto something. You're onto something. And so are we as we head into our second map, Inferno, for this one. NiP, a map to the good. They took Ancient off of Astralis. You can see what that's done to the odds at the top of your screen. And let's see if they can carry that momentum through. We've got a lot of util for this T side. 2 smokes, 2 Molotovs. Could be interesting to see where they're deployed.
It's some sort of a counter, though, with Device with the dual elites in a very upfront position, taking out Config. Nice and easy.
Yeah, check this one out as well. So those 2 dual Berettas going to be set up for success. Oh, blameF will take 2, maybe 3. As Stat puts it in. And that felt very, I mean, you've already called it, like, anti a little bit. They felt like they had the perfect setup to deal with that NiP pistol. I like you
in a pistol round that you're a bit proactive on the CT side, because often you do face some sort of a rush or some sort of an execute, and you can see that Astralis in this position, flashing out Banana, Device being pushed inside boiler. They're trying to disturb whatever NiP had planned in this pistol.
He was very ready for that particular peek from Config as well. He knew he'd bounce his head off the door frame, and nice to go for that leap, and he was more than ready for it. So yeah, excellent pistol from Astralis, and we'll see if they can keep it up, because they're up against a full eco here. Nothing really invested, not even a single flashbang or an upgraded pistol. So you wouldn't expect much here from NiP, as Config will be dropped early on and just using the range to their advantage right now, trying to farm some cash on Device if possible. There it is. Take that, 300 bucks.
Lovely jubbly. Any more that came from? Device is happy to give him the fight. Takes Brolin down as well. Oof, damn.
He's been headshotted 9 times and he's still alive somehow, some way.
I don't understand. He just got the extra adamantium helmet.
Oh, we're actually full team counter right now.
We are off to a bad start, guys.
Yeah, it hasn't gone well. They've got like 4 badges. They've won pretty much every game.
Yeah.
And it's day 1, and it feels like the tournament's already over.
Well, it's just day 1, you know.
It is just day 1.
Just day 1.
You know, we'll be talking, we'll be laughing about day 1.
I think you're right.
At the end of
There's not many badges
5.
left, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah, but there is
left.
There's a lot of it.
Mac
like,
10 Expert still hasn't been claimed today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got that. Ace of Spades is gone. Entry Frag is gone. Clutch Minister. Win 2 clutches.
I think that's gone.
What defines... Okay, it's gone anyway.
I think so.
Say, what's your cutoff point for a clutch? But I guess that's gone. Diffuser Bomb, that's gone. So we've got 2 knife kills in a best of 3. There's been 0 knife kills so far, so we can't really do much with that either. Yeah. But there is the first gun round at least. So we'll see whether NiP can make their first incision. 5 AKs across the board, a compromise by best, but a default. Not going to be combative towards Banana, allowing the CTs to have it potentially.
Relatively strong, you know, buy coming out of Astralis, considering it is the second force buy sort of scenario where you get a freebie at it. If you lose this round, you still have money for the next one. So quite a lot of utility. Device on a FAMAS as well, and I like that he's keeping his utility in hand right now. Good timing right here on the Molotov as well, cutting the 2 players apart from each other. Config exposed up here in middle, also takes an awful lot of damage from the nade. Good start for Device, but Config is onto something.
Yeah, he is, and he just looks away. You can see lost in conversation, dazed, confused, need a double out of res. He at least gets away after the first. With Buzz gone short side, the rotation through, you got 3 leading A from this defense, which puts a lot of pressure onto the shoulders of Borup. Finding himself equipped with just an MP9, but he does have a smoke, Jacob. That could be
used.
I think that looks a bit of an awkward smoke. I think Brolin's probably got an open invite.
If anything, he threw that to get the rotation coming in for Device, yeah. He just wants to make sure the Device can rotate over here, and another player coming in as well. I think it's blameF, so they've read this pretty well. Borup goes out there, sacrifices himself. What he's hoping for right now is NiP does the execute, which they will, and there's still 2 additional Astralis players.
Wow, they're in the right place. Smoked off for Blame. He'll try and spam through.
It's perfect. Perfect bait right now. They're not going to check him.
And Device, he has to get a multi-kill here. And empty-handed Astralis. Look at their health.
Exactly. HP and timers on their side, but unable to convert the frags. It's just stare now from Banana, giving up his position. The bomb to be planted. He knows there's nothing he can do about this one. Even with the low HP players, he'll have to rotate all the way through spawn. At best, maybe denies some economy going forward. But there it is. NiP will be first in their first round here. Quite a convincing one as well. Hamper should be able to find that final kill.
And when you take a look at a round like that there, Jacob, you know, through your Counter-Strike lens, it looks like Astralis have played that, quote-unquote, perfectly. They've been on A when they were considering an A exec. They've been on B when they were considering a B exec. They baited in the rifler. Sometimes you do everything right, it's still not going to go right.
It comes down to the frags, right? If Device gets that first kill, I think he enables blameF to be in a better position as well, and Hetrick will probably be focused towards Device instead of CT spawn in this one. So yeah, sometimes you can do everything correct, you can read the game well, even bore up that smoke that bought them enough time to make the rotation. So there was a lot of understanding of the round from Astralis. As you said, almost picture-perfect Counter-Strike. At the end of the day, if you're not killing your opponents, it's not going to be enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does boil down to that. And that's why I'm in the headshot only DMs every day.
I've heard that. I've heard it. Yeah,
so
a lot,
Chad said he
actually.
posted an IP this morning, and you were even there early.
I saw the invite.
Early hours. You were there for the DM session. I was in bed. I really hurt my back swimming, so I kind of had to sacrifice my kind of contribution to the DM. I know it's an obligation for this camp as well.
Whilst it may be, I'm happy to shoulder a lot of it. I think I have more room for improvement, Henry.
Are you feeling the
I don't know. My form is pretty bad right
yeah.
now. I haven't been like having a lot of confidence in my play in about a month. This would be a really good time to turn it around. I need to play to actually get that point.
One of the conclusions I've reached is probably going to make me sound like an absolute idiot, but I've felt that I actually have to be looking with my eyes at my opponent's heads on the screen, as opposed to looking at my crosshair. Does that make sense? As in, I'm looking at where I'm adjusting to. I'm looking at.
I know what you mean, but
that's a good learning. Yeah, you should never. I think never look at your crosshair.
Exactly.
You're looking at your opponents. Yeah,
Right.
You look at your target.
And so when I've been playing these DMs, I've found that it's just helping drill like the speed by which I can track the head with my eyes as opposed to with my crosshair. But of course, it's a
work in progress.
It's a work in progress. Definitely.
But I like the format, though, the fact we get to nominate each member from our camp. Unfortunately, we lost one of our strongest units in the form of Pimp.
Yeah, dude.
He's gone now. And he got a draw, I guess, against Hugo.
That's disappointing. You know,
it is. We all know it. Like we know you
yeah.
should be winning that. It's fine. It was in CS2. I said as soon as it was CS2, we've got the handicap.
It was the only one.
I know. I said that's the only way we lose, and of course it came.
And it's not only is it CS2, it's Orbs. Hugo, known to be a proficient AWP user
CS2
and abuser
as well, where you lose like the movement, the bunny hops.
He was camping so much. He was hiding and not
I saw you looking. You were constantly searching.
Oh well, it's up to NiP hunting for these B bomb site defenders. It's blameF and borup this time, working in tandem. They're finding all the kills required here. 5 versus 3, and not much to do for NiP unless Config can blast the doors open. He'll be dropped from Swarmer device, and they'll maintain the man advantage. 4-on-2 now.
You'd be hard pressed to get the bomb down here unless Rez goes pop-off mode. Perfect time upon the fade. Rez will at least trade, but with the help and the time against him, he may be able to get that bomb plant after all. Scoops it up. If he's daring, he'll just hold it, but he hasn't, and I think they'll just call his bluff. Gonna run him down now. Needs a frag, needs them both, and blame. He will secure it for Astralis. A 3-1 lead for the Danish roster.
Yeah, it was looking like NiP made another idyllic call there. The B-bomb side, 5 players against 2, but just couldn't find the opening frags whatsoever. Great crossfire. Let's see it from that POV. It was blameF and borup finding the kills through the smoke, no less, as well. They managed to pull one back, but it felt like the job was done at this point. A gap in that smoke, Jacob. Was that from the Molotov, or they did some misthrown smoke?
Either way, it's a massive issue for NiP in this situation. It basically cost them the round. When you get into that bomb side, you still obtain a 3v4. I would still argue the T's are favorites to win the round, but that smoke right there cost them a life, basically. And
it's a free kill for device, isn't it?
It is. And that lost them control over that bomb site. That was not good by NiP. Whether or not it hit a Molotov or it was a failed smoke, let's be easy on the judges, but
exactly,
it was not good.
I'm trying to be more charitable these days and calling out mistakes. When you do get it wrong, you look like an absolute idiot.
Think about how
just say that there may be a chance. There may be some thinking behind that one. I always try to give that at the end.
Yeah, and then sometimes it's just a complete mess up from the players. They'll admit it. Sometimes we give them too much credit.
I don't envy you guys, man. You know, being a commentator today with this level, with the utility usage by the team, how creative they are.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
You never know. But, device missing out on a couple of frags there. Mix up with a dink, but still Config will find a lot of mid-control. A double pit setup, though. Buzz instead to be tested, but they're going for the banana split. Extra creamy. And it's blameF to defend. Should be able to get the first kill. Apparently not. What a beautiful shot that is.
Well, they've got everything. borup is probably cacking his drawers here.
Oh, it's the MP7 as well. And it's working.
Insane. Perfect precision upon the fade. Now he's got to keep himself, ready to spin. He's worried about banana. That's the bomb, and that's head trick with the headshot. Should be nothing more to be reported here. Poor borup was put into an... well, what's the opposite? An unidyllic. Yeah, an unidyllic role and position. Poor guy, isolated and flanked. Config with that win against blameF, I think, sealing that deal there. The fact Galil just beheads him.
Pimp, are you a smoke fan? Do you sit in the fades a lot on your play?
I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
I thought you might.
I absolutely
You came in the same game as me, and that was like, wasn't really kind of, like, players were using one-ways or sitting in smokes and stuff. You got a bit of a bad reputation, but it is part of the modern game now, and it really is quite prevalent. You can just sit in the smoke, wait for the fade, and you've got, like, what, a quarter-second advantage over your opponent just to get that first kill, and it shouldn't really have a place in CS and hopefully in CS2. That
I was just about to say, speaking of Counter-Strike 2, that's not going to be a thing anymore. With the way the smokes are working right now, you can't do that anymore, and it's going to completely go away. I think people underestimate how big of a difference that's going to make for the game. I've spoken to some of the pro in-game leaders as well, and they feel like it's going to be a complete new way you have to approach the T side, especially considering you can now nade the grenades as well. So a smoke is no longer a wall like we used to. You know, you can do fast executes, you can do basically whatever you want to now as a T player in terms of controlling the pace. Whereas today in CSGO, it's a bit harder.
There's going to be some really wacky executions in the future. Timing HE grenades with your like set smokes towards spawn. You throw an HE just as the bomb's being planted. Your AWP is ready on the angle. Like there's going to be some really interesting plays.
It's so sad.
CS2.
It's so sad how we've had maybe 3, maybe 4 show matches, CS2 show matches. I don't think I've seen a single.
It's
like,
because they're always like for fun, you know. Unfortunately, it's always
no
like
one's
a bit
going
of
to
a
give you
laugh.
that. Yeah,
I'd love to see like a team show match in that sense. I'd say like let's put some prize money up and let's see what's going on here. But
soon,
yeah, I guess you're right. Soon indeed. As we get into round 6 here, ladies and gents, second map picked by NiP, currently trading 3-2. Difficult buy here for Astralis. They have pretty much full sense here with the 2 M4s, 3 pistols, and a nice boost. Stair will have to find at least 1 kill and survive to really justify the setup here. He's got to play beneath him as well. There will be Buzz. So the young guns defending the quad side. Device will have a Deagle watching the apartments on A.
Yeah, they put in everything they could into this round. No money left on any of the Astralis players. A little bit on Device. He wants to save up for a potential AWP in a couple of rounds if needed be. But it's been a very much back and forth game right now. And this could be the round that sort of dictates the first half. It could be the breaking point sort of for Astralis. And so the same for NiP here.
Okay, well, they're not going to have trouble with Buzz, but they have got trouble with Stag. Nearly finds 2.
Yeah, great effort there. Gets the 1. Dink on the second. Lives to tell the tale as well, and for now, still 2 players residing on that B bomb side. The same duo, blameF and Borup. No rotations coming through. 30 seconds here. They can execute in towards B. They can smoke off and Molotov the key choke points here, but a great counter smoke from the CT side. That is a nightmare. They might have to go back towards A. Do they respect him?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be impossible. So
15 seconds.
You're going to have 10. Yeah, you're going to have to go off the flashes. Flash set up. Can blame hit the shot. Already a threat is Borup. That's the kill. That's the kill he needed. 9 seconds. And they've got them both. They will have time with a second to spare. They'll plant the bomb on B.
Yeah, that was the smoke from hell there. Astralis once again, right place, right time, had it all set up for them, but just couldn't find those, what seemed to be pretty simple frags in terms of the procedure, but nothing connecting with that 5-7. And NiP, crisis averted once again.
That's twice now. Twice in this game already in 6 rounds where Astralis completely read the round to perfection. They use the utility to perfection. They force NiP into a very uncomfortable position, yet they still can't capitalize. I think Borup is going to have nightmares with that 5-7 in the future. Whew. That's a rough run. They should have won this one, no doubt.
There's that same gap in the smoke in CT spawn. Is that I need to know why that's happening. I just saw it again. Someone is throwing it, eyeballing it.
Yeah, because there was no Molotov this time around, right?
Yeah.
So someone is throwing that smoke.
Maybe there's some method to the madness. Maybe they use it as a kind of calculated peak. I don't know, but that's the second time we've seen it on the right-hand side, not quite covering it. But they win the round regardless. It does not matter. And Pimp did say if they win that round, it's going to be breaking point for Astralis here. They did manage to keep 2 players alive at least. That's Device and Stair, but again, what can you really bring to the table here? You're going to have, 1 Desert Eagle for blameF, USPs otherwise. Another difficult round here, as NiP will have AKs across the board and plenty of money in reserve.
Now, not necessarily a disaster just yet for Astralis. I have to point it out. The T-sides on Inferno, especially under the leadership of blameF, have been more than impressive. I think they've played some of the best Counter-Strike they can play on their T-side on Inferno. So for Astralis, you're looking to get 6, 7, 8 rounds. Keep yourself in the game and then get it done on the T-side. So it's not a good start, obviously, for Astralis, and you do leave the momentum in the hands of NiP. But in terms of how the game is going to progress from this point and onwards, I'm not too worried just yet for Astralis.
Right, I think I've spoken to the smoke inspector. That one has no gap, and blameF has found Hampus as well. In terms of making this a threatening one, that has really made things a little bit more spicy.
It's always a great question whether or not Astralis want to try and get the gun of Hampus, right? Try to put up a better fight, sort of, or just leave the gun out there. Because NiP probably expects it, but this time around, they're leaving the AK-47. Oh, they actually pushed it away. There we go. Beautiful. That's the only way you can do that. If you leave that on the map, you're risking it hurts you later on. Same
position for Stair. Brave to take the same angle once again, but trying to set up Device. He's got the M4 this time. Off angle in the pit. Not trying to commit to the angle, but they're focusing on the hard side. Cavalry is on the way. Buzz and blameF both heading towards the library here. A chance of the fight, but bear in mind, blameF for the Deagle, and we've got Buzz with a USP. Not really much they can do to save the day here. It's down to the rifles, lying in wait.
Yeah, here comes Brawler, and spotted out by Device. He's first frag found for this Astralis defense.
No way.
Oh, he nearly found him with a USP, and now finished off by Blame. That Deagle does do damage, but now they have to get that bomb down quickly. 10 seconds left as they extend the clock. Config to punch in the code. It's only a USP, poor Borup.
He wouldn't, would he?
No. I mean, he's already delivered incredible clutch in a similar round on Ancient, but with no weapon to boast and 2 to find, it should just be a quick putt in for the 4th here for the Ninjas in pajamas, not giving him anything.
He maybe get a kill due to
He's
timing
getting space.
There was a world where he actually catches res and then gets an AK-47 and maybe wins the round. But
Anything but a USP in that position right there. Anything.
Yeah. Oh my. Well, NiP, once again, an uncomfortable round, but they get the job done. That's all that really matters at this stage. That was another eco from Astralis after saving 2 rifles there. Nice crossfire. Good start with Device getting the opening frag. But overwhelmed all the positions. Leak out as we see the apartments, Arch and Quad. Completely smothered by NiP. And we've got a Device orb, but it's so compromised this spy. They don't have a single helmet, Device with no armor, barely no defuse kits, and barely any utility. This is cracks are starting to form now on the Astralis side. This is a desperate situation for them. Device can't be too active with no Kevlar.
Oh, he's just been gamed.
Perfection, right? You put it down the deep Molotov, you put the one in the middle, and then you put the nade in between the 2 Molotovs, which is the only position Brolin can be in unless he jump back.
Right, unless he's gone T-stairs and has no info banana, he's catching that. He's catching that nade. That's brilliant play. Ooh. And Astralis extend their man advantage. Thanks to Device's orb, just a reaction speed test off of the flashbang. So I guess it's an all-in with the remaining 3, right? You've got a lot of utility. Likely executing into an even number on this A site.
Well, you absolutely have to win this round if you're Astralis. There's no 2 ways about it. It's a 5-on-3 in your favor. You've got the setup, but something is brewing here for NiP. They're trying to steal a kill away through the smoke. That's going to be Rez, hoping to find the first incision here.
Yeah, Ratty Smoke versus Ratty Smoke. They dropped the one-way boiler, and Buzz dropped his bike. He's even got more for that. Has he got a second smoke? I think I saw. Yeah, he has. Boom. Okay, 30 seconds of a nice little one-way onto short. Gonna get uncomfortable here.
Yeah, NiP are just waiting for their moment to strike, and it's going to be Buzz picking them off one by one. Should be round done, to be honest with you. 30 seconds here. Might try and just hold on to the little they have, an AWP and the AK. But yeah, round over. And it will be pretty decent for Astralis. They didn't really give up any damage whatsoever. Bear in mind, they entered the round with what? A glass cannon, barely any utility, no defuse kits. They're going to leave with AK-47s and a load more money injected into the coffers here. So NiP this time will not be scrambling for the bomb. They'll just have to save just that AWP and Hampus's AK. So Astralis, down but not out. Pimp.
Speak about a perfect round of Counter-Strike. This play right here on Banana with the grenade by Aster, that's beautiful. Device perhaps getting a bit lucky, but he knows his timing. Astralis gets to survive 5 players, surviving with, I think, 6 or 7 pieces of utility, and switches out the 2 FAMASs for AK-47s. That is picture-perfect Counter-Strike, and it couldn't be any better for Astralis. That also forces NiP into a situation now where their money is not looking too good. They can monster buy, I think, not the best of the best, but this puts NiP under a lot of pressure all of a sudden.
Yeah, it kind of just puts the shoe on the other foot. You saw that run from NiP, and I think the words of Henry were, it's messy, but it's working. It was like always just hanging on by a thread. Well, seems that thread has snapped as Astralis, astutely highlighted by Jacob, have managed to find a perfect round, which puts it all under question for the Ninjas. Do they have a response? Let's see what the call is.
Well,
Hampus.
We've got a head trick AWP on the T side of Inferno. Not a lot of players like to deploy it on this side, but sometimes just to change at the pace,
he's got a
so you
good
can find his
spawn.
opening picks.
Is he going to go for an opening pick, an opening maneuver? The util was a real problem in the previous, so he's just going to post up on mid. Not going to be concerned with all of this horrible battle. Oh, Brolin stomachs a HE.
Not again.
Yeah, not this time. But it's a very forward angle here to catch that jump up.
I think he's holding for the boost. Normally you boost the player up into this position, so he's aiming a bit weird. Head trick walking up middle though, getting the kill on Stern. Maybe Boss can answer back. Nope. Config stays alive for now, and Boss is in a very uncomfortable position. Has to fall back here, but cost him HP, cost him utility, and Astralis are under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, this is like Config is trying to find some spaces. Smoked off towards Arch. He was trying to see if he could sneak through find a pick in return, but they've got the man advantage. Device holding towards that library side as well. AWP, so kind of segregated on the A defense. You've got Buzz in towards the headshot position as well, and now the reaction coming through. Borok trying to play the smoke once again.
Yeah, he got caught out by it last time he tried this, but actually, yeah, another nade. I don't think a problem's been hit by a bullet. That's just double HE's. Device is a dead man. Punished for the miss. And it could be round defining here if Buzz goes down without a fight. That is the A site open.
Well, that was just a very calculated round from NiP. Got the opening pick, and they're waiting for the reactions to come through. Not necessarily mistakes, but you know the CTs can't just rest on their laurels and hope that they're going to find the kills there. Holding those key choke points, Device misses a shot. That was round over. As soon as Device doesn't hit that shot, Config knows he's got a guaranteed frag, and then is waited for the CTs to fall into their crosshairs. So it'll be a 5-on-2. blameF and borup, as we know, the B players don't have much to say about this one. They've got an AK and an M4 released, and in terms of loss bonus after winning just a single round previously, they only get 1,900 into the next round. So they have to save these two weapons here. It'll be another compromise buy. Device for $1,000. And unfortunately, yeah, they're just going to have the two rifles here. It's going to be a very, very similar scene to what we saw before. On the perfect round, though, bear in mind that's the one they had not very much to work with whatsoever.
Yeah, head trick, though. That was his first opening kill. And it correlates perfectly with his first T-side AWP. So impressive to see him find an opening with that. Catching stare out. Might get to see it at the start of this. Look at this shot. Oh, he doesn't give him much, does he? Doesn't give him much.
That was the missed shot. Like I said, that's pretty much round over. He didn't have to work too hard for it. Would do well to miss that kill eventually. Hampus, good awareness towards the apartments, like we said, is waiting for the reactions. And now you don't have to buy your Astralis. Like Jacob said, this is kind of early days, and it's not, we're not hitting the alarm bells just yet, but they'll save two rifles and invest lightly around it. Two Deagles.
It's also a very conservative buy-in in this situation. They could have forced up.
I think so as well. I totally agree.
Yeah.
But they've gone for the very conservative approach. Doesn't mean to say they'll necessarily lose the round. They still have blameF and borup rifles here, but that's the two B players. To remedy the situation, borup will be positioned at A here. Bit of a stack on that side of the map, presumably leaving utility for blameF on the other side, allowing him to push them into the setup here.
To some degree, a sign of confidence that Astralis believes so much in the T side that they can allow themselves to be conservative here. Device not finding anything this time around with the AWP. borup instead playing perhaps with the idea of walking behind this smoke. Config has been over here every single round playing this smoke, and he's been successful with it so far. The scoreboard doesn't do him justice in terms of how much impact he's had.
Nice flash.
Yeah, that's a straight up counter for Config.
Wow. He's here and the second this time is a profitable one. borup's rifles found. Rez quick to the draw. Takes down two. They're heading in towards this A site, or at least they could certainly have a go. The setup is all of Astralis here.
Well, the fact you've taken out borup and you know he's the B player here, you know something's up here. There's a fly in the ointment. It's not the usual setup. So it looks like they're still committing towards A here. And the CTs, indeed, same story. Again, waiting for those reactions. Rez, you need to reload. And Hampus needs a new head. Buzz is taking him down here and is back to a 3-on-3. He's getting a bit messy again from NiP. Lacking conviction.
They know they're running into the stack, but they haven't got any other options. They just have to fight through the flames, trying to hit. Oh, and Buzz does nail one. Blame on the site. Could he clutch? He certainly could. And he's been found. Head trick. Diligent on the clears. NiP, they know how important that round was.
It's kind of one of those rounds, it's kind of a hollow victory when you fist bump. You're just like, okay, that was really uncomfortable. We didn't seem to know where we were going. The calls weren't clear, and it was a chance you could have lost at the blameF in the corner as well.
Once again, Astralis set it up perfectly in this situation, right? Because they show Buzz with the Deagle up in apartments, they show Stare on shore with a USP, and normally you'd think NiP, you need to react, you need to run back to the other bomb site, but they're very well aware that there was two guns saved, so in their minds they're thinking, okay, the two pistols are playing together, they're leaving the M4 by themselves. Right. Exactly. That's why we're going into it. So from the outside it looked like a silly decision by NiP, but they played that perfect.
Yeah, dude, that is unusual. I mean, they're hoping that NiP are going to be caught off guard by it. Rez certainly not having trouble with the first. He's provided an opening. Buzz thinking he was safe in the graveyard.
They're playing good Counter-Strike right now, NiP.
Oh, they certainly are. As a 7th round looms with a 2-man advantage into blameF's AWP.
What have you got for us? A hell of a first shot. Both AWPs will strike at once here, bring us right back to a 3-on-3. It's not going to dissuade NiP, though. They'll continue their assault on this side of the map. No rotation from the CT, but they are adjusting their setup, moving Device towards top of middle, and Stare has pushed the apartments as well. Commitment comes through. blameF doesn't need any more kills. He can buy more time, that'd be great, but it's more valuable for him to stay alive at this point and wait for the retake.
But how do you retake with a double off?
That's a good point as well.
Yeah.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, Kit is on stair, so he is the integral ingredient. And Blame, oh, he's rewarded. Config goes looking, couldn't work out where he'd gotten off to, and Blame finds more impact. I thought this was a completely dead round for Astralis. It still could be. Oh, a multi out of Hampus. The orbs are gone. Blame will have to save his. Just to save face. If he can, yeah. I think he was anticipating a potential hunt, but it looks like they're going to be exiting Banana. He hears all of that and will at least leave with the rifle.
I think Config right now is the biggest Hampus fan in the building. You know, he saved his ass right there. Had they ended up losing this round NiP, Config will look back to this decision, walking down CT spawn for absolute no reason whatsoever. Completely unnecessary. It gave Astralis a chance, but Hampus found the right timing and sort of saved Config from the embarrassment.
I see, right. I was wondering what you were referencing, but it was that that hunt into blameF. It could have been the one brick that made that wall tumble down.
And the thing is, just to note on that double orb setup, it's normally a sign of desperation in the modern game. Like 3 or 4 years ago, it was pretty standard for a double orb setup, but for the reasons we just saw, retaking some of the hardest bomb sites in CSGO, it's just not too viable. Even with blameF getting a double kill as well, they still don't win the round. So it's going to be the eco-based round. Yeah, I've seen this on Twitter recently. I didn't think it was actually viable. Did he get up there?
No.
Okay, I don't think you can shoot while you're up there. I think you're like...
It could be Zeusy.
Zeus could be Zeusy. That's a good point. I think it might be Zeusy. Because I don't think you have control of your aim up there.
No, yeah, I think it's one of them. You're kind of like strafing into an angle. Get stuck on the polygons.
No disrespect to blameF or Boss for that matter, but when you have an AWP in your hand, give it to Device, even in a round like this. He can play with no armor. He's the best man for the job. We saw blameF miss a sitter. Oh my goodness.
That's
a scorcher.
That is a satisfying one dig from Borup. Straight to the brain of Config.
He's got another one in him.
You reckon?
Yeah.
He is looking hot.
Oh, okay. No, maybe not anymore.
Well, Hampus is down to 2 HP. There you go.
See you later, mate.
Payback.
Device has got the AWP now, yeah, so Jacob's happy, and I don't think he's going to be seeing much more action in this one as an 8th is coming through, so great haul from NiP as it stands.
Bear in mind, the Astralis were 3-1 up with winning the pistol as well. In terms of gun rounds, they really haven't got any. They've won one, not an eco round, they force put into it, but it was like Device with no Kevlar, they had no grenades, it was like not a traditional gun round. So they are yet to really post an actual gun round victory yet. It's not too bad. As Pim said, like, if you can get 5 or 6 rounds, you're fine. It's like it's not as CT side as it used to be. Like,
we are getting to a point, though, where they need rounds. They need to put on the 5th, 6th, maybe even the 7th at this point, but the more I watch this game unfold, the more I'm thinking NiP is playing well. They're good at dragging out the tempo as well. They've been super, super cool at getting mid-control. We've seen Config walking up towards long, more or less unhindered every single round. The one area of the map where they've been struggling a little bit has been Broland on Banana, but even with that, they've still been able to control the map on the T side. So I think NiP deserves a lot of credit for how they conducted themselves so far. And for Astralis, we did praise them in the beginning. They were stacking the sides correct, they were reading the game, but if you're not hitting your shots, you're not winning the rounds. And I think that's the main issue right here. Lack of firepower and lack of individual brilliance right now coming out of the Astralis players.
Well, there's a convincing round for NiP as they confirm the half victory as well. 8-4, tactical timeout call for the Danes. And yeah, this is the point of no return at this stage. If they can't post any more rounds, you will start worrying for their prospects here in the series overall. If you're just joining us, it was Ancients to kick off the series. That was the pick of Astralis. And after completely pantsing NiP back in Cologne, it was actually NiP that picked up Ancient in a pretty convincing manner towards the end, looking to find the 2-0 as we enter round number 13 here. The buy not too bad for Astralis, not too many caveats. We've got a Device AWP, bare bones utility, and a 3-man setup towards B this time. So adjusting things, maybe getting a little bit more aggressive here, challenging for this control. But
Roland's life, this has just been his life, just getting naded to 50 every time he considers taking some early Banana info.
So Device is here this time at least.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him be too mobile so far in Inferno, so going to be moving things up. Send Borup towards the A site. And Device holding CT spawn. Nice grenade. Does connect.
Oh, yeah, so 2 of them are completely hamstrung in this round from those HEs. And their attempts are not rewarded. Ballsy trying to wallbang. You know Stair has occupied the boost on Rops at least a couple of times.
It's crazy how much utility damage Astralis have managed to do throughout this first half and gotten so little out of it. A lot of the rounds NiP have been running around with half HP or even down to 20, 25, and yet Astralis still haven't been able to capitalize from the good openings to the rounds in this scenario. This time around, though, It's a must-win, especially at this point in the game. You're down 4-8 against NiP. You lost the first map, so you're in a position right now where you're taking 3 players down to half HP and more so on a couple of the players. So already now, I'm going to say it's a must-win round for Astralis.
With all of that damage, you're bang on, yeah.
Damage doesn't matter too much with the AWP on the front lines. It's Device to take first contact here as well. Again, if he misses that shot like we saw top of middle, he'll be scrambling, trying to recover. It's a double bait and switch setup here. blameF, add new boxes, but not actually going to be repositioning with the smoke. Here we go.
Yeah, the divider smoke with the Molotov through. Device good onto the first, delivers with the AWP. They're trapped. Trapped behind the smoke. Rock and hard place. Device! That's the shot. Surely that's enough. With 6 seconds left, they're getting the bomb down. Config does nothing on the flank. That could have been round defining. Instead, a 2-on-2 emerges. It's Buzz and Borup, the double Bs.
He's so scrappy, these
double AWP. Oh, I don't know if you can, actually. I don't see a world where you're getting through CT. Yeah, neither do they. They're backing away.
It's the worst as a player. You know you have to go for the round because you're down 4-8. You have to do something. You have to get a couple of rounds on the scoreboard. But you're also well aware that the smart decision is to run away and accept that you lose the round.
Bomb planted at 5 seconds again.
Yeah.
NiP haven't had to pay the price yet, but it's certainly uncomfortable each and every time. But getting away with murder and saving a double AWP setup on the T side. You don't see many of those, let me tell you.
Like you could be the Astralis coach and you could be sitting there, as Kassler is. Okay. And you could be sitting there going, okay, guys, well, I'd like good utility damage on our CT side. I want good rotates, good communication. And you could be getting all of that. You could be getting all of that, but NiP still, albeit by the skin of their teeth at times, are boasting 9.
There's one thing to keep in mind, though. You called it out, Henry. You said Device being on Banana, being a little bit more aggressive. That's a good thing. It's a good way to start it up and change it out. The problem is Device stays on that bomb site, and you could see the synergy between the two players. I think it was a Borup staying with Device on the bomb site. They didn't know what to do and how to react when NiP came in with the execute. So while it may be a good thing in the beginning that Device is trying something new, if he doesn't get anything out of it and he's forced to stay in a position where he's normally not comfortable, there could be a price to be paid later on in the round. And I think that was what we saw right here. Device did well individually, but the two players themselves didn't have any synergy whatsoever.
Right.
Fast A pop here. We're going to see 3 players out of the apartment. Smoke down Moto, 2 flashbangs over the top. A lot of teams run it. NiP looking to open things up once again. It's going to be Hampers trading the Device. This is a horrible position to be in. Somehow still alive. Kicking!
Say it again.
Gets the second shot. Absolutely remarkable scenes here from Device. He finds a hat trick as well. Beautiful. Head trick, the last player remaining. Bomb down. No hope as Device hunts for more.
You'd think the worst place for an AWP to be on an abs pop is short. You would think. Definitely manages to make himself comfortable.
Well, you live and die by those sort of rounds. Like, it either goes really well or it all falls apart there. And Device, perfect position, it turns out, at the right time.
God, that third shot as well is on Brolin jumping just to go and get a glimpse as to where he'd repositioned. Now it's time for Headtrick to put on an AWPing clinic. He has to find them both. At the moment, he's found the gap. It is just being jiggled out by... Oh, I think he knows. He does now. Missed shot. Perfect execution. As Astralis, they look to end strong. You said they can recover this. It's not the end of the world, albeit it certainly can feel that way. But with NiP 9, Astralis 5, and 1 more round to go of this defensive half.
They need Device badly right now. It's a massive round, as you said, Henry. It's not a comfortable position to be in at all. The third round right here is pure world-class from Device. The fact that he puts that in the face of Brolin is nothing but world-class Counter-Strike coming out of Device. But the fact of the matter is also that they need him right now. Without Device going off right here, it feels like NiP is controlling the game, controlling the pace. They're one step ahead. So sure, sometimes the individuals can bail you out. We've seen that with Simple, Saivu, and all these great players throughout all these years, and Device for that matter as well. But as a team right now, it does feel like NiP is more than a step ahead.
Wow. 1 more round to go here in the first half of the pick of NiP, and blameF, what a reaction. Finds Brolin there on the 90-degree flick, maintains the advantage, didn't take any damage there. And he's hit Brolin. He's had a rough time at Banana, Alex. He's either been bombarded with grenades or taken down early on in the round. So he'll be sent packing early on, but they're going to continue with that push here towards the B side of the map. It's blameF, heavily committed, but could be flashed in. He's called for it, I think.
He must be. Yeah, flash turn. Oh, and he still delivers the frag. Borup sets Blame up for success as Astralis given a double, make it triple from Blame. Holding fast on the B side.
Flash is beautiful. The follow-up Molotov to capture 2 NiP players behind the potential refrag. It's perfect Counter-Strike.
Look at the adjustment as well. Right now, you're looking for Blame. He's going to find them both. Oh, team kill required.
He had to do it. There's no other way about it. Otherwise, they both die. So, a chance here for Rez. Would be one of the rounds of the tournament. He pulls this one off. He's got 30 seconds. A 4-on-1. I think Astralis have done it. Pimp, they've got 6 rounds.
6 rounds should be enough to make the game competitive, but I still will argue that based on what we've seen so far, based on the eye test, based on how NiP have conducted themselves on this server, I feel like they're the big winners of the first half. They've been playing really, really well. Way above what I expected coming into the game.
No, I think that's probably going to be our general summation of this series if it goes this way, is that, you know, maybe we did underestimate NiP. As that is quite the half. 9 for the Ninjas as they look to close in 2. Astralis looking to take us the distance. Vertigo, should we need it? Let's find out together after the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Asus Republic of Gamers, DHL, the United States Air Force, 1xBet, Monster Energy, and Gaming Malta.
It's time for the DHL Drop. Every week, CSGO talent go head-to-head to beat the buzzer. You can join them by typing !DHL Drop in the chat. Answer the questions correctly to get added to the global leaderboard. The higher you climb, the closer to earning a prize you are.
When moments that we share feel like breathing in fresh air. This feels like home, 'cause I can feel it in my bones. The further we're apart, the more aching in my heart. We'll have our share of hardship and difficulties,
Astralis versus NiP continues here at ESL Pro League Season 18, aka Camp Counter-Strike. The coolest place to be right now. We've got a plethora of teams, 32 to be exact, and it's day one, ladies and gents. We've got myself, Henry G, Pimp, and Machine joining us for the second half of Inferno. NiP with 9 rounds, Astralis on the back foot. Do we think the Danes can do it and actually post a map here, boys?
I'm looking at you, Jacob.
There's a chance. There's a chance. I think NiP have played some brilliant Counter-Strike so far, both on map number 1, but also in this first half on Inferno. So I want to see Astralis play better if I want to give them any chance of beating NiP. So far in this game, it's been all about the Swedish organization with this Swedish-inspired team.
There's a lot of Danish in chat. I'd like you to try and take a look at while we'll work out what Config's been saying. Config's been talking a lot during that break. I don't know if it's anything of substance, but we are ready to see how this pistol shapes on up.
Only one player defending this B-bomb side. That's going to be Rez up against 5 Astralis players here. We're going to fully execute on the side as well. 8 G's ready. That might be a kill in itself. There it is.
Touchdown.
Another anti-strat here in the pistol. Remember, we did see that set up towards Boiler with the Julies before. And now pitch-perfect grenades taking down Rez. And presumably the round, unless Hampus can once again save the day.
He's got 4 nades here, Hampus. Mr. Hampini going to have to be quite the genie, as he doesn't do anything with it. Bit of chip damage, and yeah, he's already in trouble. He's not going to get a chance to use those nades if he's not. Get out of my way! Device takes them down, mowing them down with that Glock, and already looks good for Astralis. They're going to be sealing this gap right shut. As Headtrick taking a couple on the way out. There is a lot of time on that bomb still, but they've played nice forward position on stair. Should be very difficult for Headtrick to find anything more. Just going to look to preserve his life.
Couple of kills is all he can hope for in this position.
Nothing exciting about the config chat?
Well, it's basically just Config giving a backhanded compliment and then talking to himself because no one responded to him. So not really, to be completely honest.
So he tried to banter. And
he tried to banter about the double AWP, you know, saying, thank you for giving us the 2 AWPs. And then he was like,
well, then he realized, oh, this is probably not...
Hey, wait, the game's not over?
Yeah,
and,
we haven't actually
I don't know, man. It's one of those where you all had that friend in a group chat who's like speaking to himself, sort of, and this was Config right now.
Okay, Config
that's not really me in the group chat, to be fair. I know how he feels. But I love the anti-strat here. Again, set grenades, CT spawn. They came in with a battle plan, and it works out once again. As we see both pistols go in favor of the Danes here.
That's a good point. I feel like we always discuss that pistol rounds are a little bit random, but I've heard more and more in-game leaders and more teams say that they've become less random because they're putting so much effort into doing anti-strats, doing special strats, and in general buying more nades or more dual elites to do certain proactive activities. So maybe they're not as random as they used to be in our time, Henry.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
That could be a fun investigative report, you know, taking a look at pistols of yesteryear in comparison to the modern pistol.
Well, honestly, back in our days, it was just Rush B, Rush A every round. So
choose a letter.
Yeah. Right there.
No one coordinates.
Got the force buy here from NiP. It did be Config with the MP9. Headtrick on those Julies, just upgraded pistols otherwise. They've still got themselves a couple of smokes trying to whittle away at the clock. And a 3-man setup here.
Take a screenshot of that one. That's a lineup.
Yeah.
Lands above him, so he doesn't get blinded, but if they look towards him, they do.
Boom. Pop. And nearly crackle. Nearly.
Did pretty well to do some damage, but unfortunately it's a 4-on-2 and the last 2 remaining players for NiP on the other side of the map. So should be job done here.
I'm very interested now to put myself in the shoes of Stair because, you know, I've got the MAC-10 and I know that they're probably on my side. Like, how do I choose to play this? I'm running away? Am I running away? I am. Okay.
Well, we need batches, so he may as well go for it, you know.
Ah, that would have been nice, yeah. So it's 4 MAC-10 kills in a game.
It was in the whole tournament originally. I don't know what that was about, but that was the original premise. But I think we changed it to map, just because that's a bit more...
That is exciting.
Although it can still happen in one round, it still hasn't happened yet to our knowledge.
Yes.
So
I think we've seen a double MAC-10 at the max. But of course...
But the thing is, I'm sure it has. I'm sure someone has got 4 MAC-10 kills in a map.
It's like Uno.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Uno.
Exactly. That's a good way of putting it. So to saving these 2 pistols, I'd say that were bated breath because Brolan exploring his options towards the half wall and Stair is sniffing him out. They've got the SMGs, they might as well. If you get a kill with $600, otherwise it's not a big deal. You want to kind of have the AKs going forward regardless, but it will be Rez to find the penultimate frag. Bear in mind, this was the force buy from NiP. They're full eco in the next round regardless. Nothing they can do about the follow-up round here. Should be Astralis tying things up at 9-9. Rez saves at least the armor and the 5-step. That's about as exciting as it gets for them.
Yeah, great start for Astralis.
Headtrick did save $4,800 though. He didn't go all in, so it won't change much, but there's maybe he can get an upgraded pistol.
A little bit more threatening than the previous.
He gets a deagle.
I like that, though. I like that he's valuing his own AWP that much that he doesn't want to risk anything in that regard. Of course, potentially can hurt his team's chance of winning this force buy, but you know, if you're NiP, you already gave yourself a great foundation after the first half, so you may as well play it, I'd say, relatively conservative in that regard.
Makes sense. It makes sense. Headtrick at the moment has been given full responsibility of that B-bomb site. That's not a particularly comfortable role with a Desert Eagle and 3 players running at you. We're already seeing the first signs of damage inflicted. Hampus chipped away at in this stack. He's hoping that Headtrick can now single-handedly defend this commitment, but Buzz is actually taking a walk in the apartment in a forward position of Rez. Config, he will convert. Finds himself a weapon upgrade. Galil could be passed off to a healthier member. And Headtrick's even been given some help. I think he's getting a helping hand on the boost as well, so Brolin up and over.
Okay, something to be said about this setup. You never know. It is the USP boosted. It's all down to Headtrick, really, the Desert Eagle. If you can find one for the smoke, take the aggro. You never know. And there's the USP. Doing enough damage, I suppose. It might lead to a kill. There it is. And that will be the round, unfortunately. Headtrick will be here, still waiting for Hampus. But he's all the way in T-spawn.
Now, regardless of what happens in this round, it's already been too expensive for Astralis. Lost a lot of utility, lost 2 players as well. They're supposed to build bank, build momentum, and it feels like even in these rounds where there's no chance for NiP, they still find a way to make them somewhat competitive, or at least give us a couple of moments where we're in doubt whether or not there is a potential chance of Astralis missing it. So, still not seeing the best version of Astralis, but there's also something to be said about the fact that they played a poor game of Counter-Strike, and it's 9-9, so if they can step it up from this point and onwards, then we may have had another 2 hours of good Counter-Strike to see.
Saving the Galil, it's not the best feeling, but it's quite comparable to an M4, some people would say, so you might as well give it a go, keep the money strong. But it is going to be Hampers just with that in T-spawn. Astralis will tie things up at 9-9. As Pimp said, I agree, it was a little bit too messy, but they got the job done. 3 players survive as well. No harm, no foul. And the game is back online here. Looking for that third map of Vertigo. Astralis starting to look better and better as the series develops. And we'll get into a full buy now, finally, for NiP. After force buy in the second, they will be using the Galil here in round number 19.
I keep my eyes on Brolin. We didn't see anything from him on the T side apart from getting naded down to 20 HP every single round. He didn't find any impact whatsoever. Usually on the CT side is where he does his best job. So Brolin have had a poor game so far, but it's going to be interesting to see if he can step it up now that we're switching sides for NiP. Playing the banana position again, so I guess he's well aware of how to do the same thing against Astralis. Makes you wonder why he's not aware for it on the T side.
Yeah, well, he had to take a chance.
And he's down. He goes again.
Oh, gosh.
I'm going to go look at his stats.
He's having a nightmare.
He's below 38 yards. I think it's not good.
Wow, respect to Buzz. He tries to breach the double app setup, and he wins out the duel with the Galil. So Buzz has enhanced their lead. It gets worse for the Ninjas in Pajamas now. They've lost Hampus as well, and the last 2 now spotted and they don't even profit from that boost. Rez gets away with his life. Let's see what the rest of these 2 can do. Headtrick and Rez lost on B. Bombs go in A. And we might even see a little bit of a hunt considering the coffers. As you discussed, it was a bit of a heavy loss in the last round. They might be given more conservative here.
It's good.
Yeah,
I feel sorry for Brolin, man.
0-5.
Is he? 0-5.
After that one is 0-5.
Let's see this. Is it just
Oh, that's super unfortunate. I didn't realize it was cleanly through the smoke like that, but still, not ideal. But they do save the AWP at least, and the M4, so not all is lost. You save an AWP, especially in the hands of Headtrick. He can do some unspeakable things on a map like Inferno. Lots of options at the start of the round to get stuck in and try and take matters into your own hands. But Reds will join him. In terms of loss bonus, they're going to be getting themselves not a whole load. I think they actually got $3,400. Yeah, they lost a pistol.
It's going to be a buy because Hampus can buy himself or drop to a teammate in that regard.
It all comes back to that Galil, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're using the Galil in the first gun round, still has the extra cash. It's actually, not too bad. Rez and Headrick could technically drop. They've got some utility. I'd say you need a tactical timeout almost certainly here to juggle this one properly, but we'll see if they're that way inclined. Yeah, I would say it feels like a perfect time for a timeout.
Just to get yourselves situated, right? You've lost that first gun. You've lost the lead that you came into the half with, a 9-6 half.
Call up. You need it.
Yeah, they've got the weapons all sorted. In fact, it's a beautiful complexion.
To go forward with it.
Yeah, they've handled it well.
That's quite surprisingly. They lost 6 rounds in a row now, NiP, and they have to stop it right here, right now, before it gets out of control. Maybe he's seeing something we're not. Maybe, again, you're looking towards Broland's point of view and you're thinking, okay, that was random. We can't do anything about that.
That's
you know?
fair enough, yeah. And it kind of was. But again, active, and Broland making up for the previous round. Finds the opening frag on Stair this time. And they can retreat. They're not under too much pressure here. Suggesting they're pushing down further. They've taken vision away from the T-steps with the deep smoke as well. And Rez can actually rotate with that advantage, leave his utility, and allow Broland to hold. Thinking about it, though. He's going to collect a smoke, it looks like, and stay with it.
That's something I want to give credit to for Broland. There's a lot of players when you're having a rough game when nothing works out for you that stops playing their own brand of Counter-Strike or gets too scared being aggressive. Not the case for Broland, not the case for Hetrick here in this situation either, but I've played with players who were just like, nah, it's not my game. I'm not going to do the aggressive thing that I normally do on Banana.
Right.
Broland has had a nightmare of a game and he's still up for the task, which I think deserves, you know, a decent amount of credit considering how rough of a game he's had so far.
And that's the kind of move you ask for, right? You say, boost me, I'm going to take a peek.
I like that.
Shows he's being proactive and undaunted by the tough game he's had. Now, the remaining 3 Danes are starting to regroup. And it will mean that there's a discrepancy in favor of Astralis on this B site.
I don't think this round is necessarily over, but that's a very strong smoke. 30 seconds here. It would take a bit of a misplay, but a gap has been found. Broland should better get himself yet another kill here. They just don't have the time to pre-fire this sort of position. But he feels off it. Okay. Nice and center in.
They have to wait. Yeah, they have to wait.
They have to. They got 13 seconds. Oh, gosh, this is tough. Oh, and clean headshots here. There's nothing here for Astralis. And Device, yeah, he's hoping to keep hold of his life. They're running at him. He's going to go down. He's only got $4,000 in the bank account. No AWP for Device, at least not on his own dime.
Yeah, he can be dropped one, but didn't get any extra cash. I don't think they would have done anyway. He'd only missed out on $1,400. So it's not the end of the world. He died after time, so that's money. That was a lovely play from Broland. They've had to get the opening frag. We've got Hetrick with the AWP on the other side as well. They had a 5-on-3. Barely any time. Like I said, the incendiary perfectly timed. And they took Device down after time as well. Nice little bonus there. They tie things up 10-10. A convincing round there after having a pretty rough start here. 6 rounds in a row against them.
5 alive. And it starts with a Broland opening. You know, let's try and put that in the can. Let's see if we can get that one running on repeat.
He hasn't been dissuaded at all, has he? He's more than happy to take those jewels, but keeps taking that nade damage over and over again.
Yeah, last time I looked, blameF had over 300 utility damage.
I wish there was a way we could figure out how much damage he's taking from the grenades. Broland, that is. You know?
That would be such a stat. Util damage taken.
Counter-Strike 2, bring it.
Bring it. They're sending Device on a T-side AWP, going searching, so maybe Broland could be falling victim to this. Whoops, a wobbly nade, but a boost up. It seems like they are preparing themselves for the defense. Broland has been given us extra smoke, so he can do that reaction if he feels the pressure.
That's the issue for Astralis, though. They're not applying enough pressure right now. NiP is happy to hold their nades. You see the utility, still plenty of smokes, utility.
Brian was hit as well towards Banana with 45 seconds. Like, he might not need backup.
No Banana control, no mid control. You have 40 seconds left in the round. Astralis are playing on a back foot right now.
Yeah, such a prime position for Hetrick as well. Someone's going to have to challenge him eventually. Can they flash him off? Can they even get him off the angle? No, that's the easiest shot he's going to have all game, and he gets a double. Well, here we go. 5 versus 3. Falling apart, unraveling at the seams here. Astralis will make their way in towards the A bomb site. They don't have much left. A couple of HEs wasted in towards a pit, and yeah, to save this round, it's been an absolute disaster for them.
Now will be the time to take a timeout if you're Astralis and if you're Castle to figure out what you're gonna do for the next couple of rounds. You can perhaps still buy next round. Loss bonus is not that great, but I guess Bus can drop a little.
Yeah, if you've got 2 AKs and an AWP, you might as well, right? Like, it's enough to justify it. You can get a little and bore up, and then Device might have to go Deagle Armor and be dropped the AWP, obviously. But we'll see. Hetrick, like I said, he's not going to miss that shot, is he? Like, not many players would.
Surprisingly, Device is not killing him, He
was
holding the angle, waiting for him, but I guess Hetrick is just faster.
Yeah, it looked like it would be a smoke. You kind of saw the shadow, you heard it coming, and it was didn't obscure anything. Smile out of his. I love that the kind of the pride you see on Hetrick when he does a good play. He's got.
Did I do well?
Yeah,
please tell me
I've done well. Pat me on the head. Tell me I did it. I'm a good boy.
So there it is. Device AWP again, glass cannon. I'm afraid he had to drop Deagle for Stair. Or maybe a Galil as well. This is a really dicey round. They've had a few of these now. You bring out a Device Orb just knowing that he has to carry the hell out of this one. He'll have to find the opening picks. He'll have to execute around him, see if he can open things up. And it's faster pace this time from Astralis, focusing towards the quad side by the looks of things here. They've got mid control, but the CT's almost allowing them to have it. They're happy just to bleed this round out. Let them use the little they have in terms of grenades, and they'll go and explore their options back at Banana here. Rez to be challenged, but he's being baited in by Head Trick. So even if he just fires off a shot that could be enough to take the aggro, it's going very well so far, and blameF, he can't risk going down as well.
Yeah. Was an AWP shot fired, so they know the setup's different. Brolin responsible for Arch this time, and Borup's the one looking for him. Set up for success.
I think he stepped. I think he made a misstep. Yeah, I think NiP heard him in Arch and then put up the flash for him. That was a misplay by Borup, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, that is costly.
And at this point, you may as well want to save. You have nothing to throw it apart from a smoke. Device tries to make something happen, but it's not basically in this situation. So
this could be 3 rounds where Astralis haven't found a single frag. This could be round 3 where 5 are live for NiP. Let's check in their cache. By the time this round ends, they're going to be set for the end of the game. They'll be running this one all the way home. If this continues, what a juxtaposition from the start, though. You know, Jacob was sitting there telling us, oh, they've lost 6 rounds in a row. They have to do something now. Well, they did and have, as this is going to be 3 sequential rounds with 5 alive for the Ninjas in Pajamas.
It's pretty impressive stuff. When you put it like that, Alex, it kind of does kind of set off alarm bells in your mind for Astralis at this point. It's been an up and down series for both teams, but NiP, I agree with Pim's sentiments earlier. They've looked like the more well-rounded unit. They've looked like the better Counter-Strike team today, at least. Back in Cologne, it was anything but. Astralis manhandled them in a 2-0 fashion. But NiP, they've had time to bring Hampers back into the squad, of course. Like, there's so many Counter-Strike events, it's difficult to really kind of innovate and bring your strategies up to scratch. And it seems with the extra time they've got garnered now, NiP are looking like a dangerous team once again. It's been a while, and Head Trick is slotting in quite nicely. 17 kills to his name. Rez with 15 as well. A name we said was a win factor coming into this series. He's delivering. 15 kills for him.
It's good to see Rez playing some decent Counter-Strike again. He's the worst weighted player for NiP the past 3 months, which in itself is quite surprisingly, considering how good he used to be, how big of a factor he is, how much of an X-factor he's been for NiP for the vast majority of 4 years. He's gotten into the fall of his career, sort of. He's transitioning to be a little bit less aggressive on the rifle, a little bit more supportive, but the fact of the matter is right now he's playing some good Counter-Strike, and if your flaw is Rez, then you have a good team, and that's what we always discuss when it comes to NiP. You look player for player, pound for pound. We expect more from this team, and I think that's why we're so frustrated every time we talk about them, that the results are just not backing up the material they have to work with.
I imagine it's frustrating from an organizational standpoint as well, because you probably have the same sentiment, like everything looks good on paper. Just got to look good in the server. Right now, it does seem that's been the case.
It'll be a massive win for NiP to take down Astralis. Not necessarily in the landscape of the tournament. It's still going to be a long, long way until the playoff. But winning against Astralis 2-0 in this form.
Config jumped on. Already Astralis have managed to find an opening. That's a deviation from the norm.
It's round over.
Yo, come on. We can't call it yet. Ooh, maybe we can. A ding through the smoke from Hampus, but Blame puts him down. And they are not biting. They are not interested. It really comes down to that. A leaping SMG frag.
That's a good call from blameF coming out here. They catch NiP on the wrong foot completely. And the reason why I'm saying round over is you have 4 players locked out of the bomb site just by this 1 kill from the Mac at this point. I think that's Borup's 3rd Mac kill, by the way. So let's keep an eye on that.
Nice.
Let's keep an eye on that.
Okay, we can be the first to declare. We've got the microphones here. There's nothing they can do about it. If it comes in, we've got the advantage here. Our first badge for team, what's our name again? Team Counter will be coming through. I actually have to look down every time. We're Counter, like Chad would say Counter.
Talking Counter. Talking
so
Counter,
Team Counter.
I'm Team Counter.
That's what you got to remember.
Yeah, okay, easy.
Oh, he picked up the M4.
Oh.
Dude.
What a loser.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the M4 on the T side. It feels like something about it. This feels like super snappy. This feels like
because you played Source.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's a good point.
Source.
The silenced M4 was absolutely OP in Source. So
Fantastic.
Yeah, I always feel like a bit of a star when you're on the T side, showing off a bit. But
yeah, and it does get in the heads when you're dying to a silenced M4 on the T side.
Well then,
all right,
12-11. It's Astralis to pull one back. A little bit of a pop play once again. That smoke down to Moto. Try and send out the Mac 10, and it works out for them. But can they hold on to the next round and find consecutive? Posted here on Inferno. And there'll be no AWP available on the T side. Headtrick will have full control of the map.
Yeah, and Brawler, he's thrown aggression into the mix. Now it's perfectly seasoned with the util from his teammates. He's playing anti. This is proactive play from NiP as Buzz claims control of apartments.
There's not a lot we've seen from Buzz so far in this game. It's a name that we mention quite often on the T-side Inferno, but it's been very quiet for Buzz in this entire series, basically. And that's what we discussed as well coming into the game. If Device and blameF is not playing well, is the support cast to those two players good enough, stable enough, that we actually believe Astralis to be a contender? Not necessarily for the title, but maybe for a playoff spot or going into a quarterfinal, semifinal. And I think so far what we've seen is that we're seeing more no's than yeses in this game at least.
Yeah, well, you want to talk about the semi-finals. The upper semi-final of the upper bracket would be Vitality versus the winner of this. Good grief, I don't envy the opponent after they threw orcs around the server.
B execution, boys. 45 seconds, plenty of time to work with. Smokes will go down, Molotovs are plenty. It's Brawler and Rez to defend. The old guard
Nice name.
preparing themselves here.
Second wave. Roland, he's got the incendiary. Does he have a place to stand? He's in the open. A team nade.
Take that.
Borup, thank you very much. That could cost them, especially because Rez is combined. He gets 2 on the spray. And it's 13 for NiP, 5 alive.
We've had some pretty hideous rounds this series, I'm not going to lie to you, but that one might just take it all.
How does he team nade? How's this a fumble
I
they're
don't
laughing
know.
about?
Yeah, you got to laugh.
You have to.
I need the replays.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because we saw Stair get naded off like down to 20 or something. There it is.
Oh, he's gone through spawn. The comms must be off. I guess like maybe it's just an instinct play. Just got push through the smoke, hope for the best.
The thing is, just before he runs to CT spawn, a Molotov was put down for NiP. Their second Molotov in that position. So I think Bob went in there thinking there's not going to be a second Molotov. And at that point, he has to do something, which is running into CT spawn and just hoping for the best. Again, the problem for Astralis in this round is they're not dragging out enough utility for NiP. We spoke about it, 45 seconds left. You can do a full B execute. But NiP had so much utility that they could keep smoking, keep Molotoving, keep flashing. And at that point, it doesn't matter what you do if you're Astralis. If you're not pushing NiP enough in the beginning of the round or in the mid-section of the rounds, you're allowing them to keep all this utility for the late scenario, and
are they just trying it again?
NiP is too good.
Yeah. They're going to hope to steal this round away because they don't have a whole lot here. They've got one player with the saved or purchased rifle and armor here, and they go for the B. I would say execute. It's kind of a B play, hoping Buzz can just sell something this side of the map. He'll go down, and they'll know there's nothing else here.
Yeah, Convict's got his knife out.
Oh my god, that flashbang could be absolutely everything for him. Looking for that quad kill here. It's against Pistol, sure, but still, his return to form here on Inferno has been nothing short of stellar. It looked like he was down and out. He was posting nothing on that T side whatsoever, and now coming to life, roaring to life here, as we see another quad kill towards his B side of the map, locking it down. And as Pim said, he's always a player that seems to have tenacity, right? He doesn't seem to back down, happy to play on the front foot here, aggressive even though he's having a quieter game. And now you can see NiP believing they can do this in a 2-0 fashion.
I think I am too.
We've got tense music as well.
Yeah, that signifies the use of their last timeout. So, Castle on the mic, last 10 seconds where he can impart any wisdom, any feedback. The fact that the only thing that has worked, bar the initial conversions, was that Poppy Apartments play. You can't run that again. It's not like you can go, right, let's do what works.
You can try,
you can try, but that, I mean, is that not the most condemning thing? Is the only thing that worked, you try it again? Like, oh, it leaves you with nothing. What are you supposed to do on this comeback? You need 5 rounds, and NiP just need 2. Let's get it started.
I think Astralis needs to contest Brolan on Banana. He's taking a lot of space. He's been aggressive out there. He's been winning his duels. Something needs to be done about that, because otherwise Brolan is happy to give up Banana late in the round, but at that point we get into the same scenario where NiP is just saving their utility. So if I were Castle, if I were Astralis, if I had any idea of how to take Banana and make life hard for Brolan, that could be an opening, but it's not what they're going for here.
Whoa! That is aggressive. That is hyper aggressive. Hampus is dead too, surely. And blameF will run him down. Awkward now. Maybe not. Rez has gone for 2. Gets them both. What's going on, Astralis? Flustered, executed by Rez. One after another. Now up to Buzz. A must-win clutch. But a fumble after finding the opening, and they know, and so does he. Rez! That's impact. Quad kill from the Swede. Max money in the bank accounts. Astralis off the back of a timeout, left with nothing.
Very scrappy rounds here. This is not what you usually see at the top level of Inferno, but you can see no love lost between these two teams. Bit of a grudge match now, seeing these teams play time and time again, knowing each other's tendencies. We're seeing those anti-strats were inside each other's heads here. And even after the opening frag, it looked like they were absolutely done for. But Rez managing to control the situation once again. Huge spray down from that arch side. And he really has delivered on all fronts here. Hampus loving it. And could be the final round of play here. Looking to take down Astralis 2-0. One more round will do it. Headtrick missing out on the first frag, but not dissuaded from the angle. We'll be working in tandem here with Hampus, who still wants to investigate the problem and takes down Device in towards the underpass position.
Oh, they're just feeling themselves now. You saw from Config's fight in the previous to Hampus taking that fight. The memo is, kill him. Go kill.
Kill him with swagger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take the peaks. Be relentless.
There is a lot of swagger in the NiP side right now. And I mean, Astralis, down a man, Deagles, Galils, staring down the barrel of a 2-0 loss.
And it's looking likely to be one. Unfortunately, 3 Galils and a Deagle. Are you kidding me? To save the day, it would take something remarkable here. And you've got Headstrick with the AWP. Do they even have a flash to get him off the angle? They do. It would have to be a hell of a flash, though.
Yeah,
he's ready for it.
No, they didn't. Smoked Arch. He's still going to be posted. He misses his first. They are going to run at him, though. And Headtrick, he's racking him up, sending Astralis to the lower bracket with 2 AWP shots.
He stayed calm. That's all he had to deliver at that front. That should guarantee the round. Now, we say should because it's Galils, 4 versus 2. 40 seconds remaining. They've got a smoke, but how do you really get the maximum out of it? If that kill comes through, Config might have sealed the deal here, and indeed he will. 2-0 in favor of NiP here on the first day of Pro League. And what a return to form that is from the Swedes.
Yeah, I mean, that's revenge. That is revenge. 1-1 in the head-to-head with these new look rosters. Config a big win. Good to see the whole NiP squad delivering as well. Take a look at the frag totals. We talked about Rez, top of the scoreboard with 22 frags.